yesterday we kind of got rained out doing our brush hogging, and it was getting kind of late anyway, so it's fun. So we're just kind of spinning today, working on it a little bit more. Well, Glenn is. I'm just, you know, the supervisor. But anyway, so we're gonna just finish up some of this brush hogging today. Man, it's gorgeous weather today. But anyway, this the sun is super bright facing this direction, but this side of the hill back here is basically where we're probably going to be getting our hay from. Since we already have this trench dug, and before we close it up, we're gonna go ahead and run water out here to the garden on this frost-free spigot thing. And that way we'll have water here in the garden that we can access easy. And then the other thing that we're gonna do, since we already have this ditch here before we close it back up, is we're going to run a underground network cable out here to put a Wi-Fi extender up here.
One project just kind of leads to another, and while we had this trenched and open, it only made sense to go ahead and run other stuff like this water out here, the underground network cable for our Wi-Fi extender. And
yep. Because once we have this fence up and stuff, it's not like we're going to be wanting to.
Yeah, I mean, once we cover this up and then we have fence and everything, it'll be way harder to do. So
yeah. Put everything we want
it's
possibly
like, yeah,
out here.
Now's the time to do it, or it wasn't gonna get done.
Oh, it's a hawk right there.
Where?
Right over there. Yep.
Is that what you're talking about, Rick?
I think so. He was serious this time.
Yeah, it's kind of close, huh?
He didn't like that.
What a mess.
That's some real professional stuff you got there.
It is. You put this water pipe and the network cable through the same. By the way, this is also outdoor rated, UV resistant, everything.
Network cable.
Underground, direct barrel underground cable. Network cable. It's the same, that high density polyethylene jacket. Same thing as this water pipes, high density polyethylene. Anyway, I'm just taping this on the water lines, like, because I'm gonna feed them two together. And once if I feed the water through first, or vice versa, you know.
Since we don't have cell service available here, we use the Wi-Fi extender to extend the Wi-Fi several acres around the house. Are you just gonna zip tie this to that conduit or something?
Yeah, well, yeah.
What is it? Chintzy shit?
That's the cheapest Chinese zip tie I've ever encountered in my life. He just broke in my hand. I was trying to tighten it down and it just snapped in half. These hose clamps, they always say to go opposite on each like clamp part, opposite from each other. Do a couple of them on your barb fitting. Since we live in a climate that freezes, the ground freezes in the winter, you have to have your water buried deep enough to, below the frost line. And if you leave water in here, above ground during the winter, it's going to freeze and bust and ruin it. So this is a frost-free hydrant. So you're actually just going to, to use it, you hook up a garden hose or whatever. And that lifts a rod all the way down underground to open the valve, and then it closes. When you close, it closes that valve in the ground, and then you have this pipe is full of water at that point, right? But of course you disconnect your hose, and then that water drains down out of a wheat pole all the way down there, and that brass fitting on the bottom. So there's a wheat pole right here, and then that's why you fill all this with gravel, so that can weep out and drain. Just gravity drains this pipe down into that gravel, into the ground below the frost line there. So, and then that water obviously would just leach down through the soil into the ground table or whatever. So it keeps you from freezing above the ground there.